What's up, guys? Welcome to the Behind the Golf Brand podcast. This week, I have my good friend Scott Riley from Live Forever Golf. If you guys don't know Live Forever Golf, they make some sick clothes. And I am super excited to have them on the show, talk about their history, how they started, and where they're going, and their new collection that just came out. So lots of cool stuff. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, hey man, thanks for having me on, Paul. It's good to see you over the internet again.
Oh, yes, the good old internet.
Yeah.
And my only
So how
fans.
many did you grow up in a mall?
No,
Did you grow
I didn't.
no in
Did
a,
you
in
go
a
to a
mall
mall?
arcade? So we were talking about Street Fighter 2.
We
You've
weren't.
got it in your background there, and you I mean cheat codes for Street Fighter 2
Dude, there's some
always
guy.
crazy.
It was some dude at the arcade. My mom would be like, I want to go shopping at Dillard's. And I'd be like,
Eh,
I go with you, go to the arcade. She'd be like, yeah, go ahead. And then I have like
Those were the
$5.
days. I mean, you had Mortal Kombat, NFL Blitz.
Oh,
I
yeah, that was
mean,
fun.
just
Which Mortal
people just
Kombat, though, do you
dominate.
think? The original? I like 2, I think, was one I liked.
I like Mortal Kombat too. I mean, I grew up with a Sega Genesis,
Oh.
and so any iteration of those were fine with me. It was just remember like when a really cool arcade game would come to your console. It was like worlds colliding.
Do you remember how, like, I remember this. Like, I remember when Mortal Kombat came out and they put on Nintendo, but Nintendo wouldn't show the blood. They would show like
Right.
something
Yeah,
else
yeah. Well,
wet, or I don't know. Remember that? It was like they
it,
wouldn't show the blood. I just remember that. I don't
it
know why.
it went against, I think, Nintendo's values. So I got to respect that.
That's cool.
But that's why I had a Sega.
Oh, that's because you want to see the blood and play some Altered Beasts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dude, it's like we started talking like video games and old age stuff. Like, oh man, I'm getting old, bro. Like then you like
I don't
realize
play I
like,
don't play them anymore.
that's for show. I don't have time to play video games. You kidding me? And then my kids start playing with it and they break it, and I'm like, oh man, I'll just break it for, and I have to fix
I
it.
really, I thought when I first started having kids that, okay, this will be a way for me to get back into playing Madden and
That's what
playing
I
video
thought too.
games with my son. And like, no, it all just blew right by me. I have no clue how to work a controller. No clue.
The funniest thing is when your kids are better at you. So when they're little, like, oh yeah, let's play Mario
Yeah.
Kart, or let's play some shooting game or something silly. I don't know. And then they get better than you, and then it's like, okay, let's play some N64 or Super Nintendo Mario Kart. Who's better now? And like,
It just beat you with a D-pad. Let's
yeah, I
go.
remember. Here's a funny story. Here's a funny story. My cousin, when I was a kid, I remember I had remember Tech Mobile for Nintendo. That was like the coolest football game ever. He was like a
Yep.
30-year-old man, and I remember that's when you could be like the Chicago Bears, and they're really good. You could be the Lions, and like every team had one guy, like like okay, Barry Sanders, and he could blow through the line or whatever. I remember I beat my cousin, and he was like a 30-year-old man. I was like 12, right? I beat him in Tech Mobile. I thought he was gonna beat the shit out of me, like straight up. He was so pissed. He like ripped the controller out. He was like, "Fuck!" And then he like ran outside and jumped in the pool. And I was a 30-year-old man. And then my other cousins or siblings were like, I started laughing. I was laughing so hard. He's like, I'm like, man, what a poor sport. I still thought he was like 50 something or 60 something. But
Yeah, I've been known to be a poor sport in video games back in the day.
Yeah, me too.
Breaking controllers, throwing them
Hitting
at
the
each
reset
other.
button. Oh, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I remember I had a friend once who had like a Nintendo, and like we were playing RBI baseball, and he was losing, but he also knew if he kicked his like dresser, it would like reset the Nintendo. So right before it would like end the game, he'd kick it and it would reset. He's like, oh, that don't happen, dude. Like it's all messed up. I'm like, really, bro? But anyways, enough of our traumatic childhood playing video games. Where do you live?
We're based out of Jacksonville, Florida. So right here in the backyard of the PGA Tour, and what a state for golf. But we're starting to get some better temps here. It hasn't really felt like golf season yet.
Really?
I mean, well, we had a pretty unusually cold winter.
Dude, PGA
So
show was
that
cold. Remember that? That was so freaking cold, dude.
oh,
Holy
it
crap.
was great because it kept all the people inside. It was too cold to go play. So it just kind of it starts a later transition from winter into the spring, as far as the turf goes. So a lot of struggle bus courses going right now, unless you if you ever see the like TPC Sawgrass. So the players was phenomenal. I feel like that's when it kind of just kicks the golf season into gear here. We got the Masters coming up in a couple of weeks, so,
Are you going?
uh no, no,
Why
unfortunately.
not?
Do you have tickets or
No, yeah, right. I wish. I do know people who are
yeah.
going. And I was all, thanks a lot for inviting me, jerk. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's become a really tough ticket these days, but no, we've got a couple of pros that we have on our staff that are playing on Corn Ferry Champions Tour, but we don't have anybody with their card right now on the PGA Tour. Um, that's definitely a bucket list, definitely a dream of ours to be able to go to Augusta one day with somebody wearing Live Forever Golf inside the ropes.
So how did Live Forever start?
Um, man, it like the
What was the
genesis
nucleus?
of
What was
it.
the initial thing?
Yeah, I mean,
You're all boys, right?
it started with a text thread with a bunch of friends that were cheering on Matt Every. So I played professional golf in the early 2000s, just slugging it out on mini tours. I call myself a Q school dropout. Um,
That'd be a cool shirt to
probably,
make, dude. You should make a T-shirt
yeah.
that says "You School Dropout."
Well, there's a few thousand of us that would
Oh, but
proudly
even
wear
still, like
that.
I think people would wear that because it's funny too. I mean, not, but it
Yeah,
is.
it's the only school I've been, kicked out of, but they still took my money. Um,
Lots of
But
it.
no, that was professional golf was at a very different point, 18, 20 years ago when I was giving this a run. Felt like there was more of a path to the PGA Tour for you to kind of earn your stripes on the mini tours, go through Q school, get some confidence, and then next thing you know, it's a journeyman game unless you're some sort of a prodigy. But the mini tour days were very very cool, and I got to spend a lot of time with one of my best friends, Matt Every, who wound up going on to bigger and better things on the PGA Tour, and went in a couple times out there. But uh, it's a true meritocracy. It's an individual sport that doesn't have a lot of support unless it's coming from your friends and family, and um, so we were always right there in Matty's corner when he was slugging it out there on nationwide tour and then eventually PGA. Um, this is a long-winded answer to get to
No,
how
it's
the
a great
brand really
answer. This is
began.
this is the very beginning. Like, you had to get to a certain point to actually start it, right? Like, why?
Yeah,
Like, what's the real reason behind it? Not like, oh, we want to make money selling clothes. You know what I mean? Like, there's a
yes.
real story here.
Well, and back in that day, fashion was very different, and a lot of these, companies that are huge today weren't around back then. The Peter Millars of
They're
the
all starting
world.
back then.
Yeah, they were all just starting to kind of find their own way, but I had to go find, clothes off the rack that kind of fit my personality. And back then it was something like slacks from Banana Republic and maybe a Lacoste
And
polo.
they're hot as
Uh,
shit. They're all like thick. I
yeah,
just have actually they're hot.
yeah, you had to wear pants out there unless it was Hooters tour. You got to wear shorts, or
And a
I can't.
short top.
No, you had to wear pants. Had to wear pants
Crop
on the
top
Hooters
too,
tour.
right?
Optional.
What was it was
Uh,
optional. I wonder
but
why that didn't succeed.
it never made sense to me that we were wearing all these clothes off the course that didn't match up with what we were wearing on the course. Um, and so yeah, fashion's kind of been in my life, whether I knew it or not, for forever, just kind of following me along. And fast forward another 15 years later, Matt Every throws a club at the Byron Nelson
Yeah, but
tournament
let's talk
that he was
about that,
playing really well in.
right? So let's talk about that. What happened, right? Why did he throw the club? I love this story.
Yeah, he was playing really well and pulled a tee shot into a fairway bunker on a par 5 and had to wedge out. Um, and just feeling like he got dealt a bad hand on the kick in the fairway or whatever that led it to go into the bunker. He just had a primal release. I mean, just a real rage moment that needed to be let go, and it's just
That we've
so
all had,
indicative.
right?
Right, right, and it's just an indicator, somebody that's passionate, somebody that's, like, living in that moment, and, um, they're just highly competitive and wanted to just let it all go. I mean, the next pictures of him are just, kinda sitting down, like, processing what just happened. He left it right there and moved on. Finished 2nd in that event. He had a chance to win down the stretch, but I mean, it just kind of symbolized a lot of things that I have felt about the game, and that I felt like other
Every
athletes and other
everyone.
professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, anybody that's ever been, pissed at an outcome that they felt like they put in more effort than what the result was. Um, but that happened in 2019, and it was another year that went by until I decided to do something with that motion. Paul, I thought it was the most athletic move I've ever seen on a golf course. It looked like a guy that was hucking, you know, a football on a Hail Mary, or a pitcher that's throwing 98. It just
The
it
World
it,
Series.
it resonated with me as something that kind of transcended golf. And we started branding it, just turned that motion into a silhouette, started putting it on t-shirts and hats, and incubated this baby in a garage at my other co-founder Scott Toole's garage. We worked out of his backyard essentially for 3 years, just getting this thing cranked up. um, and I don't know, just it was so well received when we started, seeding some of the initial pieces of product inside the rope. So Matt was still playing on tour at the time, and we were getting our t-shirts and headwear onto the backs of caddies, and some players like Bo Hosler and Short Game Chef, all these um, peers of Matt's, loved it. I mean, JT Poston says it's the best logo in golf, and I'm just trying to get them to ditch the whale and come on over to live forever. So um, it's been an incredible journey. It's been incredibly rewarding, just to start something. But now we're off to the races,
Yeah,
and
it's
trying to
totally a
really
sick
grow
ass
this thing.
freaking logo, dude. It's like that's like it's like an iconic logo, like it's like the tiger, like that's almost like, but it's for the golfer who understands. Like there's very rarely you actually do the tiger than when we do your guys' logo. You know what I mean? We're just like so pissed that you can't, like, what's happening today?
Well, it's what was that? Sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying that, like, it's a great logo. I mean, it's smart. Like it's really cool.
Yeah, it feels like kind of a jump man of golf. Like, how can we attract others into the sport? Because golf has just been, I'll say, infiltrated by other brands, but you're seeing more and more of kind of like pop brands and pop culture coming onto the golf course, which is freaking awesome. It gives us an opportunity to create.
So when did you guys go live? When was the initial release?
Yeah, I think our Shopify site went live in September of 2020. So
Oh
about
crap!
six
Like
months.
right in the middle of
Yeah.
COVID.
Right, right.
What was the initial drop? Was it shirts or paint headwear? What was it? Do you remember?
I think this is one of our first pieces. This is called the ROTUS, the Rope of the United States. We started with, I mean, this is a Richardson Umpqua. I mean, one of my favorite hats. This is
Dude, Richard makes good
that's good.
hats.
They do, and we still use some Richardson gear for some of our headwear, but now most of it is being made
Yeah,
custom to us, fully manufactured for Live Forever Golf. And
no, that's cool.
but yeah, we started with t-shirts, hats, we had belts, towels, um, ball markers, just it felt like a kind of a promo style of organic marketing, just guerrilla marketing, stickers, koozies. I mean, all these, man, looking back, our spend was a lot lower on some of the products, but it morphed rather quickly after we hired Matt Proctor to help us with our design work and our product development. So we knew we wanted to make polos. We knew we wanted to make stuff for on course. We knew we wanted to continue to dress ourselves. And so
Because
we
you
didn't
make
want to
clothes that
do
you would
that.
wear, right? Like it's stuff that you like.
Yeah.
Like you're making clothes for you, right? Like
hmm
styles and designs and the way it feels and the way it works.
Yeah, like the easy route would have been to um, find other manufacturers that had blank products and kind of decorate
Slap
them
a little.
ourselves. But that that was inauthentic and a little bit lazy. I think we could go a little bit further up the stream and work with a manufacturer directly to bring us fabrics that are available in the market, to bring us
Your fabs are really soft,
quality.
dude. Like super soft. Like the hoodies you got, the performance hoodie.
hmm
Like your fabrics are nice.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean that's all. Everything's built with intention. I mean, we're building it basically from fabric to finish, and in some cases, we develop our own fabrics.
What is the most popular product you feel like that you're like the most proud of?
Uh, it's been it's kind of a dead heat race between the Dawn Patrol and the Soft Landing hoodie. I'm wearing a Sunrise hoodie. This is a fall piece. It's what I had in the closet this morning, but probably should have worn one of my best sellers for the pod. But no, the outerwear that we make is absolutely killing it. Everything's done really
The
well.
hoodie's
Our
sick,
polars are
dude.
fantastic, but it's a very competitive space when you come into
Yeah, it is.
the polo game.
So the Weekend Warrior, you said, or the Sunrise?
Weekend Warrior, we just introduced that last December as a new outerwear piece. I wish it was cold here still, just so I could wear it, but I was just complaining about it not being golf weather. So uh, I'll wait till we get to the fall to bust it back out again, or turn the AC down in the house and walk around in the Weekend Warrior.
Dude, that's a sick. Yeah, I would wear that all summer or all winter. I mean, it's getting hot here now, but like I would literally wear that every day. Like that,
Uh-huh.
like the performancey hoodie. I don't know what you would call it. Like I'm gonna find it real fast. Like
It's got a here. I'm gonna go find one. You keep it going. I want to show
so,
it
I'm gonna
to
sing a song for everybody while Scott
you.
gets a jersey. His
Does this
Jacksonville
happen every
Pro
time?
Jaguar.
Uh, Here we go.
All right,
Check
so
this
what's
guy out.
that? Oh, that's sick.
This is the Weekend Warrior. It is an ottoman fabric. It feels like a little bit like a terry, but it's got a ton of stretch and movement. Um,
This is soft.
just a great silhouette. Super soft. Actually, I gave my mom one for Christmas, and she freaking loves it. So it's a little bit of a unisex fit. Everybody keeps asking us if we're going to make women's clothing, and I say we need to stay in our
Bam!
lane.
Look at that.
Um, there you go. Oh,
See?
hey, we still have a sale going on. All of our outerwears marked 30% off until the end of this evening.
So I need to get one of
Um,
these. So
come
this is
on.
that. This is the weekend wear that you just showed
Mhm.
us. Yeah. Dude, that looks so comfortable.
It really is. It's a great rug.
And
Fits
this
like
came
a
out over the
glove.
holidays?
It did. It's done really well for us. We're kind of getting down to the, oh, it's good to see we're well low in stock on a few, but yeah, come and get it while the supplies last.
And then the sunrise, right? That's what you're wearing?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great a little bit of a layer piece, but I also wear it without a polo underneath. So it's good lightweight performance product. You know, our tagline is for the player, not the game. I think that that bleeds into everything we do, right down to how the piece is going to fit and perform with your movements.
That's cool. Like legit, man. I remember that's and that's what you're wearing right now, is that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then you said
Sunrise,
Dawn Patrol.
everything. Yeah, the Dawn Patrol. That's our high end piece. It's a bubble knit waffle fabric. Feels really good on the hand. Feels really good on the body. Um,
Is it hot? Or is it like when you
no,
wear it?
it heats as it cools and cools as it heats. It really responds well to, you know, the environment you're in. I think it's the Weekend Warrior is a little bit heavier piece. And it keeps you a little bit warmer, but you know, see our guy right there. That's Tristan Thompson, our model. He,
That's you,
you
dude.
know,
We're talking about you like darkened your
yeah, I
beard
wish.
and you're like flexing for the camera at the beach
Uh-huh.
on the sand trap, drinking a coffee. No,
Exactly.
I remember seeing that at the show and I was like, oh, that's so sick. Now,
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
for this season, then, like for this new one that's coming out, what are you guys
Mhm.
focusing on? Was it the polos or the shirts or everything or what?
Yeah, I mean, what we're really focusing on getting more eyeballs on the brand and everybody that discovers us, you know, really don't know any different than what we're making. So um, we've developed a core line of products that are going to be staples, and that's, you know, our ringer performance polo and our soft landing performance polo. So we've kind of separated those two out into different families. The soft
What's the
landing
difference
is a
in the fabric?
natural. Yeah, the soft landing is a natural fabric. It's a Pima cotton lyocell blend. Um, it's got those natural performance capabilities that you like to see in a synthetic, but it's, you know, natural cottons. It's kind of wild to think that we're just walking around wearing a bunch of plastics on us, and we really like the look and feel of the natural fabrics. Um, that could be something that we just continue to lean into and develop even further.
Is this your release for the biggest week in golf next week?
Oh yeah, yeah. The passionate patron. We were just kind of screwing around with our logo and decided to put a flag stick in his hand. So don't always need to be throwing golf clubs. You can be throwing something else.
Dude, that'd be hilarious if you
Um,
threw a flag at the course, dude. That'd be so funny in the lakes. That's probably one thing I
throwing
have not
darts.
done yet. So
Yeah,
like,
we've got these. Go ahead.
I'll go ahead.
Oh, you just going scrolling through. I noticed. Yeah, we've got the azalea. That's. I mean, these are all pieces of art. Um,
So
getting
is
ready
this
for the
a
spring.
sip? Like, is that part of that collection, or is that the sip, or is that more like a branded part of the line? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
'cause
that's for our fans over there in Mississippi. I guess
oh, that's cool.
it's slang for Mississippi. Sip.
Oh. I was just thinking like sipping drinks, and I was thinking that's like me. So I was like,
Yeah,
oh, that's
I mean,
cool.
we
I
we
should
we
get
don't
some.
have licensing, so we're starting to have those conversations with some schools, and we've been making some unlicensed. If you know, you know. You got Gaines Vegas and Duval for our Jaguar friends, and Scalp 'em for Tallahassee, and
No, that's cool.
uh,
It's super
yeah,
cool.
Florida Man. That was a huge seller. Um, yeah, like I think at some point we had
You could
nothing but
probably
blank
do like your
polos.
logo and those colors too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we have that in the Genesis polo. I think it was on the other
Oh,
page.
really? You know what I mean? Like, essentially, your logo is that color, and be like the Florida guy. I don't know what to call it.
Exactly. Um,
So,
but
what's
we
the
just started to get our spring 25
in?
line into hand. So those orders have been packing and shipping to the clubs that placed them with us back in January.
Do you? You're saying you're making all your own hats now. They're like custom to you,
Hmm.
your manufacturer. Do they have like all the stitching inside and the
Yeah, the inside has all of our labeling. I mean, it would you would think that we just made it here in the back of our office. Live Forever Golf branding all throughout. But then you get
oh,
that trucker mesh, the Waker right there. Those are going on Richardson 112s. It's
the best
one of
freaking
my
snap.
favorite.
Everyone uses the original one. Like that's what I try to tell people. I'm like, this is the most iconic hat, and I like have a million of them, and I love it because it's so easy to snap on, snap off, and it's I mean, you can make your own if you want, but that's
Hmm.
cool. Yeah, I mean, that's the hat. But there was a
That
while
one
there
on the.
too. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that green one there, the Morrison, that 5 panel. That's probably my favorite
It's
favorite
sick.
colorway. I also like the Dusty Rose version. That turned out really good. Goes with, I mean, everything we
It
make
looks good.
is designed to be, to
Is that
match with.
embroidered or is that like rubber?
That's like, yeah, rubber silicone type of patch. It's a raised effect, so it's got some
But it's the same
dimensionality
color
to
as
it.
the hat? That's crazy.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think they
love
do that.
that.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Because
the
usually the hat
inside,
goes
it
or is it
yeah, the inside is the hat. It's all the navy print on that
the same
is
color?
is a raised
That's sick, dude.
print.
That's super sick.
Thank you. This turned out great.
That's right here, the white. You can see in the white too.
Hmm.
That's a sick ass hat. I love hats. I geek out on hats. Um,
Gotta have good hats.
yeah, because they don't last
Kind of like
forever.
it's like,
You know what I mean? You gotta
yeah.
wear them until they die.
Well, it's a bit of a gateway drug to your brand. I think I'm looking back on some of my purchases. I definitely wanted to find a cool hat company, and if they're making products that align with what I want to buy, I'm gonna go all in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
that's
feel
our
it's
main
definitely a gateway
logo.
drug. Totally a gateway drug. Like, and then it's affordable too. Like it's in
Hmm.
that price point where they're not like totally like going head first into a brand, but if they like the hat and they're like, oh, okay, cool, like this is good stuff, and then they go into whatever else, the next thing.
Hmm.
You and your gateway drugs, man. Don't do drugs, kids. I actually tell
No,
people that
don't.
all the time when it comes to launch monitors. I'm like, yeah, the R10 is like a gateway drug. It's like you get a little taste, and you're like, this is not too bad, and then you realize you want something bigger and better. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's cool. Um, are you guys gonna do belts this year too, or no?
Yes, we are always updating our belt line. There's one new piece in particular that we just launched a few months ago called the Dorado belt. That one's it's a collaboration we did with a manufacturer out of Guatemala,
Oh, that's
and so
cool.
it's all hand woven in Guatemala, and I want to say they're assembled in Antigua. So we partnered up with Antigua Threads to make a one of a kind LFG belt, and gosh, we only probably have like 50 or 60 left that probably getting time to make a reorder. But yeah, belts are essential to keeping your pants up and everything we
We're
do over here. So we just we were actually having that chat earlier today. Like, what do you do for the belt space here? How do we keep evolving that? Because
I think
nobody's
belts
really
are
going to your
very lucrative
website.
too, because only so many people do belts, especially like the weave belt or like what they call like a stitch. You know where they have like the
Yeah, the needle points.
yeah, the needlepoint kind of style.
Hmm. Yeah, we have
Um,
ribbon belts. We have some leather belts, and we have the the Dorado. It's probably in your all the things.
I just saw it. There it is.
Boom. That's her.
That's her. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
smart what
was
you're doing
saying.
though, because it's like both styles of belts, right? And then I'm assuming it's just like a leather belt or a
Hmm.
just do some cool stuff. Have you guys I noticed too that you guys had done like when it came to outerwear, like you're doing jackets and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um are you guys still gonna do jackets? Like heavier jackets, like a rin not windbreaker, but like a what's it called? Like a rain jacket or like a windbreaker, I guess. I don't know. I can't think the right word to say.
No, we've kind of explored that, but the only thing that's really kept us from fully going in on it is the cost on stuff like that. To develop,
Yeah.
I mean, these are technical pieces with a lot of performance fabrics, and is it really worth making,
Waterproofing and like yeah, does it still
yeah.
work? You still can, move in it.
Well, if you're gonna make a rain jacket, you need to have a rain pant, and
The rain glow yeah.
we've been a little bit fair weather when it comes to getting out and playing golf in that type of slot, but I would like to work with another brand to do some sort of a collaboration for our our weather gear before we
Yeah,
just go all in on making something ourselves.
that's smarter, right? I've always heard that from a lot of brands too. It's like you'd rather a lot of brands say like they'd rather work with the other expert, right, in that type of gear. So it's like you've
Hmm.
already figured that out. Like, why do we need to figure all that out? Like, and then let them. We want to be the best at what we do, and we can bring somebody else that's the best at what they do. And kind of
Yeah, and if it's going to be a really high end piece, you're going to spend what, $320 for a top, and then another 250, 270. So we're looking at like a maybe a
$600, yeah.
$600 get up.
Wing.
And if there's any type of, integrity of the piece that falls apart, then you lose all credibility that this thing fell
Especially if it's
apart and
rain
you had
gear or
to.
Gore-Tex or dot like whatever it's made to do, like
Hmm.
yeah, I totally agree on that. Where can people find you? Are you guys in golf shops? Are you mainly online? You a
Well,
PJ Super
hopefully more and more all over the Phoenix Scottsdale area. We just hired a
We'll
rep
be sending
to.
out samples.
Yeah. Well, there's a process once you start to onboard a new
Yeah.
account manager in a different part of the country, and um, we're at the mercy of how long the postman
Shipments.
is
Oh, I
to
know, I
get
hate that
stuff
stuff.
over. So we're, you can find us online, obviously, at liveforevergolf.com. But we're in probably 30 pro shops. I'm sandbagging that. It's probably more than that, but around the Southeast and parts of the country.
That's
Um,
cool.
and yeah, we're in conversations with a couple of other big box stores to potentially get a start in one of their storefronts. So
That's cool.
that's huge, new, developing type of information. We'll be at the New Mexico Open in Turtleback Mountain down in Elephant Butte, New Mexico in September. So that's the first partnership of that kind where we'll be working with the Sun Country
that's
PGA
cool.
section out there. And yeah, there's a lot of interesting opportunities that are starting to
I
come
think
our
I'm what
way.
I like about you guys. Okay, I mean, outside your story, I think your story is cool. And I like your logo a lot. I think your outerwear, like your performance stuff and your hoodies are sick. Like, I think like you found something there, that a lot of people are not, I don't know, doing a good job at. And I think you guys are crushing it. Like, it's cool. Like, it's like for our, like, I think if regardless of what age you are, if you're like our age, right? A bunch of dorks from like who grew up in the 80s and 90s, or if you're like even a younger player, like it's the cool thing to wear. And it's something you wear, especially if you live like in the South or the Southwest, right? Or California. That's like that's your winter wear right there, honestly. Like you're not gonna wear more than that.
There's a lot of winter left too around this country. So
Yeah,
that's
and
why
that's
we're
what I keep
having
on
our
telling
big
people
old
too. I'm
outerwear
like,
sale.
because golf, like, I'm like, everyone's like, man, golf is down right now. I'm like, no, it's not. It's freaking March 31st and half the country's in snow still. Like, we're not, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
You're spoiled.
I mean, what are your thoughts on quarter zips?
I don't know. I think a lot of people do them personally. Like, I like how you're just I'm gonna give you an example. One of my favorite shirts that I got was from Phoenix Open like 5 years ago, right? And it looks very similar to the Sunrise. That in that kind of cut, right? It all has a logo on it. And I would literally wear that shirt like every day if I could, if I had to have to wash it because it's soft. I mean, it was like it was a Phoenix Open shirt, but it's still like it's super soft. It doesn't lose its color. It's something I can wear. It looks good in jeans or it goes good in shorts. If it's like in the 50s, I could wear it. So I don't know. I feel like quarter zips though. I think a lot of brands have a lot of quarter zips. You know what I mean? Or even full zip the jacket. It's back to what you were saying too, where it's like now you're talking about more like performance-y stuff, right? Where it's like, okay, is it gonna break or is it gonna how many layers is it gonna have? I don't know. That's my opinion. Take what's worth. Wait, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't made a quarter zip in 2 years. To your point about leaning into the outerwear and just making pieces that others don't have, that's been
But like no
a
one's
huge
doing it. That's
focus.
what's so cool. It's like you know what I'm saying? Like when you start out with the brand, from my own experience, it's like you try everything, right? You're like, I don't know what like we want to make some cool stuff, and then try out a bunch of stuff. And then it's like, but I feel like at the end of the day, every brand has to ask themselves, like, who do we want to be known for? You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're the brand that does the sickest ass X. You know what I mean? And then you can make other things, but you're the sickest ass. Like that. In my opinion, I think your outerwear is sick as hell, dude. And that's me. And I managed to saw you at the PGA show a couple times, and like I felt your stuff. I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I think.
No, I'd keep going. Give you
And your hair looks really great. And I wish my beard
I
looked
just
like
got it.
that, but then I look like a Santa Claus, so I don't want to do that. I can do
I
it too.
just got it cut. My hairstylist, his name is Lee Trevino.
No, it's not.
Yes. That's serious.
Differently for Trevino, right?
He's the
Everybody.
man. I try and get him a plug every chance I get. Dude, he cuts Cam Smith's hair, Doc Redman, Sam Ryder, Matt Every, Scott Riley, Aaron Price. I mean, he's multiple PGA Tour wins out there.
That's amazing. And then we have a Q school dropout.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard.
Don't discontinue that. Come on.
Maybe
I'm
little
gonna make a shirt that says
delusional,
that
but
today. I'm gonna say Q school dropout, and then no one's gonna understand what it means unless you're like you golf or something. But well, thank you so much for being on the show. You guys have to check out Live Forever Golf. They make really, really cool. My opinion, they make some really, really cool outerwear. Like legit. I'm gonna like try to hit Scott up to get some free because like this stuff is cool. But it's gonna be really hot because I'm not gonna wear it for 5 months, but that's okay because it's cool. But
Where do you
thank you for
play
being on.
out? Where do you play out there?
Water's cheap, but everything's so expensive right now. Like I'll play like mainly like the muni stuff, like Dobson Ranch, which is like pretty popular now. You always see it on, and I play like what's it called? The Rock Mountains are. I can't even think right now. My gosh, what's the name of the golf course? Papago. I play a lot of Papago. You play Papago?
Okay.
It was really pretty.
Is
It's where ASU has their school at now for their golf team.
have you met Kyle Mays?
Yeah, I know who he is. I mean, I haven't been on like
Cart
once.
barn
Yeah, Cart Barn
guys.
Yeah, they work out of
Yeah.
Papago.
Okay. Yeah, we've only met over Instagram, but he seems like
They're cool dudes.
a good dude.
Yeah, they're cool dudes. Just do
I
their
love
thing.
what they're doing.
Um,
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun, Paul.
It's fun, right? It's just chill, hang out. So, you guys, check out Live Forever. They're legit, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.